Chapter 3783. Yeah. I must have him. Su Xiaoxiao's obsession with Lin Hang made Han Yueyao feel like she wasn't just interested in him. This little girl seemed to have an unimaginable obsession with that man. Xiao. Actually, Lin Hang, Han Yueyao had been looking for an opportunity to explain to Su Xiaoxiao about her relationship with Lin Hang. Otherwise, Xiaoxiao would definitely misunderstand if she found out later. After all, it was a sad thing for the person you like to fall in love with your friend. Don't tell me you like Lin too? Su Xiaoxiao widened her eyes. No. I have no feelings for him at all. Han Yueyao hurriedly explained, afraid Su Xiaoxiao would misunderstand. You scared me. That's good. Don't fight with me for Lin Hang. I don't care about anything else. I won't. Don't worry. Seeing Su Xiaoxiao so nervous, Han Yueyao didn't make things clear. They returned to the company dorm. On the other side, the Su family was still brightly lit. No one seemed to be able to enjoy themselves. Perhaps they were too happy that Su Yu was discharged from the hospital. Huamin, on the other hand, was pregnant and couldn't stay up all night. Lady Su saw that Huamin was tired, so she took her to the balcony and poured her a cup of hot water. Thank you, Andy. Don't mention it. We're family. By the way, Grandpa was talking about you and said he wanted to talk to you. I'll go get him. No, I'll go find Grandpa. Huamin didn't want to trouble the old man. You're pregnant. Don't run around. It's okay. Grandpa won't pick on you. Unable to persuade Lady Su, Huamin took some time to rest on the balcony. Mr. Qin was asked to stay and drink with them. The kids didn't seem sleepy either. Every time Huamin was immersed in this happy moment, she would sigh and wish they could stay happy forever. The Su family's old master walked over with large strides. His actions were swift and decisive. Lord Su. Huamin stood up immediately. Take a seat. Old Master Su waved his hand and let Huamin sit down. Lord Su, I haven't seen you in a long time. You seem to be very busy this year. Yeah, there are a lot of policies and changes at the top. I've basically been in the South China Sea this year. Then you have to take care of your health. I'm fine. My body is very healthy. But you, the little guy, is about to give birth, right? Yes, soon. This kid really makes us all look forward to it. Have you decided on a name yet? Not yet. Lord Su, why don't you help us get one? Huamin had also discussed this with Qin Chu before. He even asked Qin Chu if he wanted to find a feng shui master to test the characters. However, Qin Chu didn't really believe that, so he just laughed it off. Now that they were talking about this, Huamin respected old Master Su very much and treated him like his own grandfather. Especially when he lived in the Su family for a year, he was taken care of by Lord Su. At that time, Huamin liked to eat sour apricots. However, it was winter in the north. Where could he get apricots? Old Master Su didn't hesitate to ask his subordinates in the Southern Army to search everywhere and then fly them back. This treatment was not much different from when Yang Guifei ate lychees. Therefore, Huamin casually gave his son's name to Old Master Su. Me? Is this appropriate? As Old Master Su spoke, his eyes seemed to be a little surprised. Old people were like children. In fact, they especially liked to be noticed by others to prove that they were not useless. Huamin gave this right to Old Master Su. Old Master Su was actually very happy. How is it not appropriate? You're the child's great-grandfather too. Lord Su, don't decline, okay? Huamin smiled gently. Chapter 3784. Seeing how sincere Huamin was, Old Master Su didn't refuse anymore. Okay, I'll try it. What about you and Chu? If you think it sounds good, then use it. If you don't, then don't use it. It's fine. Huamin nodded. We, the older generation, like to do things by the rules. If the father has 2 words, then the child must have 3 words. Old Master Su meant that Qin Chu had 2 words, so the child had to have 3 words. Yes, 3 words is good. Pudding and Little Bean also have 3 words. Then, do you need to overlap the words at the end like pudding and Little Bean? Old Master Su also realized that Qin Zhao Zhao and Qin Mumu's names overlapped. That's not necessary. Huamin didn't think too much about it. I hope that when this kid grows up, he will have his father's heroic appearance, stunning appearance, and open-minded mind. I also hope that he will have your maturity, calmness, and intelligence. Mian, you're so knowledgeable. You should know that in ancient times, there were 3 sovereigns and 5 emperors. The monarch of the 5 emperors was called Yao, right? Yes, I know. Yao, Shun, and you are all very famous. Huamin nodded. I especially like the word Yao. I think it's very domineering and has the style of a king. When I named you back then, I chose you because not only does it sound good, but it also has the meaning of resistance. It can block all obstacles and dangers. In fact, Yu has experienced a lot over the years, but he can always turn danger into safety. I think this name is very auspicious. So, if you don't mind, I want the little guy to be called. Before Grandpa Su could finish his sentence, Huamian understood what he meant. Qin Yu Yao. Yes, yeah. What do you think? Old Master Su smiled lovingly. It sounds very good. Huamin nodded. He liked it from the bottom of his heart. Old Master Su didn't believe in feng shui or birth characters. Just like that, the little guy's name was finalized. Old Master Su had high hopes for the little guy, hoping that he could combine the strengths of his parents and Su Yu's bravery and unyielding spirit. Many years later, Old Master Su passed away. Huamin once brought his son to pay respects in front of the memorial tablet. He even said emotionally, "That year, your name was given by your great-grandfather, your name alone, but he entrusted his hopes to the 3 of us. So, Yu Yao, you have to be well. Go back and discuss with Chu and see what he thinks." Grandpa Sheng was still worried and reminded him. He felt that it was not impossible for Qin Chu to avoid Su Yu because he felt that the word Yu was too dazzling. In fact, Qin Chu's heart had always been as tolerant as the ocean. When it was time to be jealous, he would be jealous. But when it came to such a big matter, he would definitely understand. Before the little guy was even born, his name had already been decided. Later on, Pudding and Little Bean always said that their mommy was biased. Why did they have the same father and mother? Why did their names seem so random? And his younger brother's name sounded like a great general? So domineering? On the way back, the twins had already fallen asleep. Huamin leaned lazily in Qin Chu's arms. Honey, why aren't you saying anything? Are you angry? You don't like this name? Huamin was a little nervous. No, I like it a lot. Then why aren't you saying anything? I'm too excited to say anything, Qin Chu said calmly. In fact, Qin Chu also liked this name. He felt that it had the style of a king. Huamin, but honey, I've already given him his real name. I'll come up with his nickname, right? Qin Chu turned around and acted like a spoiled child to Huamin. As a father, he felt very tired. Of course. As long as you don't name him Carrot, Potato, or Little Lettuce, I'll definitely agree. Huamin was very afraid that his son would have a vegetable name. After all, his real name was so domineering, his nickname could not be ruined. Chapter 3785. What do you think of the name Qin Guogua? You're bringing this up again? Huamin wasn't happy. She didn't want her son to be the scapegoat before he was born. Okay, I'll stop teasing you. So, the nickname is... Huamin was full of anticipation. I haven't decided yet. Huamin, I think I'll know the moment I see him. Qin Chu was looking forward to meeting his son. Huamin, you're so serious. I thought you'd name him now. I can't be so hasty. Therefore, they never decided on a nickname for the little guy. At Imperial Star, Jiang Ye's performance was cancelled because of Han Yueyao's injury. Han Yueyao lost her only chance to become famous. But she didn't regret it at all. After all, after this incident, she found that Su Yu's character couldn't be better. He was too manly. At the headquarters of Imperial Star, Yao Yao, you should hide for a while, a female colleague reminded her. Why? Because Gao Yaruo is coming here for a photo shoot. I heard she doesn't like you. I'm afraid she'll make things difficult for you. It's okay. It's broad daylight. She can't kill me. Han Yueyao just smiled and didn't hide. She continued to do chores. But everyone took good care of her. Knowing that she hadn't recovered from her injury, they didn't let her do too much work. They just did some printing and organizing. Sure enough, half an hour later, Gao Yarou came. But she came alone. The other trainees didn't come. Su Xiaoxiao didn't come either. Yarou, you're here? Come, the photographer is ready. The person in charge greeted her warmly. Han Yueao hadn't seen Gao Yarou for a long time. She heard that she had the most attention among the trainees. Xiaoxiao didn't want to be a star and the Su family wouldn't let her debut. So, she could only be a trainee forever. A few days ago, Gao Yarou's birthday party was live-streamed. It was said that she had more than 3 million fans online, which was a good number for a newcomer. Now, she was dressed even more dazzlingly. Han Yueao didn't say anything. She sat in a corner and busied herself with her work. Han Yueao, I heard you were in a car accident. Why are you back so soon? Gao Yarou didn't let go of this opportunity. He ran to the corner and found Han Yueao. Yes, thanks to you I survived. You must be very disappointed, right? Hee hee, what are you talking about? We're all classmates and we've known each other for a while. How can I hope for you to die? You have to live well so that you can witness me walk to the peak step by step. Gao Yarou was very proud of her current situation. She seemed to think that she would definitely become famous. Can you live up to your bragging? Han Yueao smiled. Han Yueao still dissed her as before. Han Yueao, don't you know the situation you're in? Gao Yarou smiled. She raised her voice and ordered, Han Yueao, go get me a glass of water. I'm thirsty. Han Yueao didn't say anything but laughed at Gao Yarou's childish behavior. What? Can I order you around? Do you need me to call your director over? Gao Yarou threatened. No, it's okay, Gao Yarou. I'll get you a glass of water. Under everyone's gaze, Han Yueao went to the water dispenser, poured a glass of hot water, and handed it to Gao Yarou. I don't want to drink hot. I want to drink cold, Gao Yarou continued. Chapter 3786. Everyone was annoyed by Gao Yarou's behavior. Even a superstar like Nie Lingxian didn't act so arrogantly. She was just a rising star. Who gave her the right to order people around? Did she think she was a rich girl and a maid? Everyone thought that with Han Yueao's temper, she would explode on the spot. But she didn't. Instead, she walked to the water dispenser and got a glass of cold water. Here. But I'm not thirsty anymore, Gao Yarou smiled. Then she bent down and whispered something in Han Yueao's ear. She said, Do you understand your situation now? Han Yueao's expression didn't change. After Gao Yarou left, her female colleagues immediately came over to gossip. Yao Yao, did you offend her before? Offend her? Sort of. Han Yueao nodded. Then you should stay away from her. I heard that this girl has a bad personality. When she's in the spotlight, she acts cute and coquettish. She wants to create a perfect goddess image for herself. But in private, she has a terrible temper. I heard that she threw the letters her fans wrote into the trash can. If her family didn't have some connections, she wouldn't have become famous. Forget it. No matter what, she's capable of becoming famous. It's just a glass of water. It doesn't matter. Really. After the car accident, Han Yueao's personality was still the same as before. But she had toned down a lot. She was prettier than Gao Yarou and had a better temperament. She had interacted with Su Yu many times and was Su Xiaoxiao's only friend. This alone was enough to make people jealous. So, Han Yueao didn't think it was a big deal to make things difficult for her today. But to her surprise, something big happened that night. It could be said that this incident caused an uproar in Imperial Star Entertainment. It was right before the end of the day when the executives had a meeting. Su Yu looked at the documents and didn't say a word. President Su, this time, XX Satellite TV spent a lot of money on this reality show. I heard that the price of a 5-second commercial spot is 8 figures. Our artists will definitely become famous if they go. Unfortunately, the competition this time is fierce and we only got one spot. What kind of reality show? Su Yu leaned back on the sofa tiredly. It's a dancing show. The guys are all famous superstars, and one of the female stars is even a popular starlet. She has a lot of fans, so this show can be considered a spot on Weibo. All aspects of the publicity are on point. What's his name? Suyu went straight to the point. One dance to topple a city. The name is not bad. What about you guys? Do you have anyone in mind? Suyu asked everyone while twirling a ballpoint pen in his hand. Everyone looked at each other. Then, someone said, President Su, I think the trainee captain, Gao Yaruo, is a good choice. She's very popular recently. Yeah, she has a lot of fans now. A few days ago, during the live broadcast of her birthday party, she received almost 2 million yuan worth of gifts from the fans. I heard that a male fan gave her more than 300,000 yuan in one go. Are you sure you're not looking for trouble? Suyu chuckled. No one dared to make a sound. President Su, do you have anyone in mind? If we don't use a newcomer, we can use our successful veteran artists. It's a good opportunity for them to become famous again. I think we should use Han Yueao. Suyu's words stunned everyone. Most of the people sitting here didn't know who Han Yueao was. President Su, who's Han Yueao? A gossiper couldn't help but ask. Chapter 3787. If you don't know her, go to the company's HR department and check. Okay, it's settled. With that, Suyu stood up and left. He was so domineering that he didn't accept any rebuttal. After walking out, and couldn't help but ask, President Su, aren't you being a little too obvious? What's too obvious? Aren't you being too biased towards Han Yueao? And chuckled. It's a dance reality show. Of course, we have to send an artist who's good at dancing. Otherwise, it'll embarrass our company. Okay, you're handsome. Whatever you say is right. And knew that President Su would definitely find an excuse for himself in a self-righteous manner. Of course, and felt that President Su was biased towards Han Yueao mostly because he felt guilty for implicating her in the car accident. After getting into the car, Suyu suddenly asked, How's the investigation on that incident going? It's still under investigation. President Qin, Dr. Hua, and Gao Ran have all investigated it. They all know, but they didn't tell me, Suyu said calmly. Maybe they want to help you secretly solve the problem? And guessed. Of course. That's why our Dr. Hua is really cold on the outside but warm on the inside. After Suyu was discharged from the hospital, he asked him to investigate the car accident in secret. When he was hospitalized, he kept thinking about the scene. He always felt that something was wrong. How could there be a car accident? The culprit was dead, and no one in his family was there. Was his whole family dead? Suyu investigated and found the problem that Huamin and Gao Ran had found. Someone wanted him dead and deliberately set up the car accident. However, he was lucky and didn't die. Now, Han Yueao was implicated. He remembered that night, after getting off the cruise ship, Han Yueao wanted to go back to the dormitory by herself. Suyu was kind, but in the end, the two of them almost went to see the King of Hell. So this time, Suyu deliberately gave this opportunity to Han Yueao. The higher-ups were unhappy, but who dared to object? The big boss had personally named them. Gao Yaruo couldn't believe it when she heard the news. She went straight to one of the higher-ups she had given a gift to before. Manager Wang, didn't you say that it was definitely me? How did it change? About this? I don't know. In the past, the big boss never asked about this kind of thing. But today, President Su was very strange. Then I have no chance at all? Gao Yaruo was angry not only because she couldn't go, but also because the little bitch, Han Yueao, was going. Wasn't this a huge slap to her face? She had just made things difficult for them today. Now, everyone was waiting to see her make a fool of herself. I can't stop this. Don't worry. Since I didn't help you, I won't take a single cent of the 300,000 yuan. I'll return it to you when I get home tonight. Manager Wang, it's not about money. Can you think of a way to stop Han Yueao from going? She's my sworn enemy. I really can't do anything about it. Rumor has it that Han Yueao was introduced by President Su's friend. I heard that she's dating President Su. If this is true, I won't be able to work at Imperial Star anymore if I go and stop it. Then, the higher-up hurriedly left, not bothering with Gao Yaruo anymore. Dating President Su? Who would believe that? Why would President Su like her? Gao Yaruo stomped her feet in anger. On the other side, the performance department was also boiling. All the colleagues surrounded Han Yueyao. Yao Yao, are you going to be successful? Yao Yao, when you become famous, don't forget about us. I really don't know what's going on. I just got the news. Han Yueyao was still in a daze. Yao Yao, rumor has it that you and President Su have a special relationship. When you went to the cruise ship to celebrate Dr. Hua's birthday, you two officially started dating. Is it true? Chapter 3788. I'm sorry. It's not convenient for me to say. Han Yueyao decided to gloss over it. She neither denied nor admitted it. After all, if she admitted it and Su Yu denied it, it would be a slap in the face. If she denied it and Su Yu continued to pretend, it would be a slap in the face for Su Yu. After much consideration, Han Yueyao decided not to disclose it to the public. However, the vagueness of his words made everyone even more suspicious. Now, even the company was spreading rumors about her relationship with Su Yu. After calming down, Han Yueyao sent a WeChat message to Su Yu. To be honest, she didn't dare to call him. President Su, what's the deal with the reality show? Su Yu was playing on his cell phone while in drove. They were going to eat pan-fried buns. After being discharged from the hospital, Su Yu had a good appetite. Eating, drinking, and having fun all day seemed to make him more open-minded about life. Didn't the company send out a letter? It's what you saw. Han Yueyao asked casually. Because you're the most suitable one. Su Yu didn't beat around the bush. Everyone said it's likely to be Gao Yaruo. It sounds like you don't want to go. If you don't want to go, I'll let Gao Yaruo go. No. I'm willing. I'm very willing. As long as you're willing. Prepare well. Don't embarrass Imperial Star. President Su, are there any shady deals in this show? What shady deals? Hearing Han Yueyao's gossip, Su Yu was confused. The one who gets the most sponsorship money will win the championship. What's in your head? Don't expect me to give you money. Even if you lose in the first round, it's because you're useless. Calm down, President Su. I'm just asking. No. Su Yu's voice message was grumpy. That's good. Then I can participate in this fair competition with peace of mind. Han Yueyao heaved a sigh of relief. Fair? You wish. You are at the bottom of this competition because you're a newcomer and have never shown your face. You don't even have a single fan. How can you be compared to those popular starlets? Every time someone posts on Weibo, there are hundreds of thousands of comments. I don't want to compete. I'll be satisfied if I can go up. Besides, the company doesn't want me to go for nothing. There's a labor fee, right? Speaking of money, Han Yueyao became excited again. Su Yu didn't know whether to laugh or cry. So I'm taking the initiative to send you to the reality show, and I'm giving you money? Isn't that so? Yes. That program will be recorded once a week. Usually, you will still have someone to accompany you in the performance department. I have arranged a dance teacher and a temporary assistant for you. They will help you. As for your remuneration, it will be 10,000 yuan per episode. What if I can become the champion? Then I'll give you $1 million as a reward. If you can't get it, you can come back and continue to work for me. Okay. It's a deal. Han Yueyao was very happy. After signing the gentleman's agreement with Su Yu, Han Yueyao was very happy. Then she picked up her cell phone and called Huamin to tell him the good news. Huamin was happy for her. They chatted for a while and then Huamin went to check the wards. Vice Director, bad news. One of the patients is missing. Missing? Which bed? Huamian was a little surprised. South Side was such a good place, and it was rare for patients to run away. She's in the VIP ward, Miss Seng. She's out of the hospital? She was here this morning. When the nurse went to bring her medicine at noon, she disappeared. She hasn't come back since. Chapter 3789. Huamin found it strange. Have you searched the hospital? I've looked for him. Doesn't Zheng Ro have bodyguards? The bodyguards said they don't know where Miss is. How's that possible? Huamin took out his cell phone. He had saved Zheng Rou's number before. He dialed the number and was told that it couldn't be reached. Did the security room check the surveillance footage? Yes. Did you find anything? The young nurse shook her head. Nothing unusual. Where and when was the last time Zheng Rou appeared in the surveillance footage? Around 9 in the morning, she was walking in the back garden in a hospital gown. After she came in, I didn't see her again. You didn't see the footage of her leaving, right? That's strange. Zheng Rou's disappearance wasn't a big deal. She was an adult with bodyguards. What could have happened to her? But with Zheng Rou's personality, even if she had a falling out with Huamin, she wouldn't leave the hospital without telling him. Besides, Zheng Rou didn't take her personal belongings with her, which meant she had no intention of leaving the hospital. In fact, Zheng Rou's leg injury wasn't a big deal. When she came to Southside for treatment, Huamin found it strange. But he didn't think much of it. Later, on his birthday, when he found out that Zheng Rou had done something to him on the cruise ship, Huamin realized that this woman had ulterior motives. Since then, she had been more wary of Zheng Rou and tried to avoid Zheng Rou's room when she did her rounds. She didn't want to have indifferent conversations with Zheng Rou. Besides, Zheng Rou had been trying to get something from her. How about this? If she's been missing for more than 24 hours, we'll report her to the police. Otherwise, the city bureau won't accept the report. How can that be? Vice Director Hua, you should know who our miss is. The bodyguard was displeased that Huamin didn't take this seriously. I'm following the rules. If you think it's inappropriate, you can ask Miss Zheng's father to step in. I will call our master and report to him. The bodyguard looked at Huamin coldly. Huamin didn't say much. He turned around and returned to his office. But thinking about it carefully, this matter was indeed a little strange. She created a separate group with Qin Chu, Su Yu, and Gao Ran in it. She briefly explained the matter to everyone. Qin Chu, on the other hand, was very calm and did not say anything. That woman can be lost? She can't be lost. Su Yu said with disdain. To be honest, Zheng Rou's good impression of Su Yu had been completely erased. He no longer had any friendship with her. If she's really lost, then we're in trouble. It was Gao Ran who said this. I agree with old Gao. We all know Zheng Rou's background. If she's lost in the city, both my wife and you, the bureau chief, will be responsible, Qin Chu analyzed. The key question is whether Zheng Rou is playing a prank to make herself known. She's like a psycho, going on Weibo and live streaming. Su Yu still didn't believe a woman like Zheng Rou would go missing. Not only was she smart, but she also had bodyguards with her. How powerful must her kidnapper be? So, should we look for her or not? Gao Ran didn't know what to do and wanted to hear Qin Chu's opinion. Qin Chu sent a private message to Huamin and asked in a voice message, Mian, do you think it has something to do with Yen? Chapter 3790. Honey, you suspect it's Yen. It's possible. Yen has been investigating the person behind Zheng Rou since she left. Huamin thought it made sense and replied to Qin Chu, yeah. Yen said the person who used such a high-tech eavesdropping device must have a deep background. But I think if it's Yen, she would have told me when she kidnapped Zheng Rou from the hospital. But I didn't even get a call from her. Maybe Yen didn't want to talk to you about it. I'll ask her the next time she calls me. I'm afraid the situation will change before she calls you. Zheng Rou is Secretary Zheng's only daughter, Qin Chu emphasized. It doesn't sound optimistic. The couple didn't talk about their private conversation in the group chat because it involved Lu Yen. Su Yu didn't care about Zheng Rou's disappearance. Gao Ran was worried that the provincial government would make things difficult for them if they couldn't find her. Everyone had their own business to deal with. Meanwhile, in a kindergarten for nobles, Little Bean, what are you doing? I'm in PE class. They're playing ball. Why aren't you playing? Buyuan sent a voice message to Little Bean. I'm not interested. I must catch up on my classes and try to be in the same class as you. I don't want to be in kindergarten with these kids. It's so boring. Gao Buyuan, I'll wait for you to come to my school. Little Bean, my family hasn't been peaceful recently, Gao Buyuan said mysteriously. What's wrong? My parents have a tense relationship. It seems a pretty auntie is seducing my dad, huh? You have a mistress? Yeah. I think so. I didn't dare to ask, but my mom was in a bad mood a few days ago and didn't have the mood to cook for me. She sent me to my grandma's house. You haven't been home these days? I'm still at my grandparents' house. I'm worried. It's okay, boy. As long as you take me seriously, I'll take care of your business. When the chubby little bean said these words, she looked like a big sister in the pugilistic world, full of dominance. Of course I take you seriously. Other than my parents, you're the one I care about the most. When I have delicious food, the first person I think of is you. Then I think of myself. Brother Yunchu ranks third. Buyuan's world was very simple, and he saw things very directly. Don't mention Yunchu. How can he and you be the same as me and you? Little Bean was more knowledgeable than Buyuan, so she knew that they couldn't be compared. Little Bean, what should I do now? Should we do something? Don't worry, I'll discuss it with my sister and give you a perfect plan. Okay, then tell Pudding not to tell Auntie Huamin. If the adults get involved, then things will get even more complicated. I understand. Don't worry. Zhu Lingling and Gao Ran had reconciled. So the couple had been very sweet recently, but they still had to do some embarrassing things at night. So, they sent Gao Buyuan, the third wheel, to their grandma's house. This kid thought that his parents were still in the war, so he asked his beloved Little Bean for help. That was why they had this conversation. Little Bean took it seriously and hurriedly told her sister about it. Pudding was very calm about this. Big sis, say something. What's there to say? I don't think Uncle Gao Ran is that kind of person. What do you know? Daddy and Mommy are so in love. I heard that a woman surnamed Song came in between them. As a girl, why don't you have a sense of crisis? You're always thinking about making money, right? Let's see what happens if Brother Yunchu likes another girl in the future. You'll cry to death, Little Bean nagged. Chapter 3791. Pudding glanced at Little Bean with disdain. Chin Mumu, you think too much. Let's end this meaningless conversation. Since they had different perspectives, the sisters parted on bad terms. Little Bean ran to the side and continued to comfort Buyuan, who was flustered. Pudding, on the other hand, walked out of the classroom with her phone and looked at the scenery outside. Qin Zhao Zhao. Ms. Li. Pudding greeted a young female teacher wearing a gray suit and black-rimmed glasses. She was their homeroom teacher this semester and was said to be very strict. Why don't you go out and play with the others? Not interested. Your daddy and mommy said you like stocks? Yes, Ms. Li, you're such a smart kid. Thank you, Ms. Li. But stocks depend on luck. Sometimes it has nothing to do with intelligence. Pudding's straightforward words made the female teacher feel a bit awkward. You're so smart at such a young age. No wonder everyone says you're better than your sister. No. My sister and I are twins. We have the same strengths and weaknesses. Really? The female teacher seemed to be trying to find a topic to please Pudding, but the results were barely satisfactory. Ms. Li, is there anything else? If not, I'll go back now. Qin Zhao Zhao, who's coming to the parent-teacher conference in a few days. I haven't decided yet. Pudding's expression was calm. If possible, ask your dad to come, okay? Why? Pudding felt the female teacher's request was very rude. To be honest, the parent-teacher conference in a few days might talk about new projects for the school. Isn't your dad the president of GK? If it's a large donation, I don't think your mom can make the decision. You're wrong. Everyone in my family listens to my mom. Is that so? The female teacher was once again speechless by Pudding. Ms. Li, can I ask how much we need to donate this time? I'm not very sure about that. During the meeting, the principal said that each class has to contribute at least 5 million. I've looked at the information of our class. Only your company is the most powerful, so you might have to take a little more. The rest will be divided among the others. So, since our family is rich, our family should take more, right? Teacher, what kind of logic is this? Pudding sneered at the female teacher and questioned her. Yes, that look of disdain was very obvious. It was impossible for the female teacher not to notice it. Qin Zhao Zhao, I'm the form teacher. You can't talk to me like that. Teacher, my sister and I have only been in this school for a few months. When we first came here, my father took 1,000,000 yuan sponsorship. Although 1,000,000 yuan is not a lot for our family's money doesn't grow on trees. Our family is not a banknote printing factory that can print banknotes, right? So, now you want to take the most just because our family is the most powerful. Why do I feel so uncomfortable? I suddenly feel that my parents might not come to the parent-teacher conference in a few days because I think it's completely meaningless. The female teacher's thoughts were very simple. She wanted to coax the child and say something nice. Then, she would ask her parents to donate some money and everything would be fine. However, as soon as she opened her mouth, she was viciously rebuked by the child. Naturally, she was unhappy and shocked. How was this child's intelligence at all? No wonder she had to skip several grades at such a young age to come here and study with children who were much older than her. I didn't make this decision. You have to know that this is the decision of the school leaders. What if my family doesn't want to donate money? Pudding looked at the teacher expressionlessly. Chapter 3792. Then you and your sister might not be able to stay in this excellent class. You might have to go to an ordinary class. Pudding heard every word of the female teacher's voice clearly. In this elite school, the class system was very obvious. Those whose families were especially rich would be placed together in the excellent class. There was only one class in the entire year, the 8th class, because the Chinese believed that 8 was a lucky number. Classes 1 to 7 were ordinary classes, and they were children from ordinary families who relied on their own abilities to get in. The teacher's meaning was obvious. If they didn't take the money, they would go to the ordinary class. What was the difference? The difference was that the teachers in the excellent class were all famous teachers from famous foreign universities. Every year, there was a summer camp during the winter and summer holidays. They either went to Hawaii or Australia. It was very high-end. The ordinary class's travel activities were limited to climbing mountains in the surrounding county. That was the difference. As for the food, the excellent class had a special buffet restaurant with the principal and school leaders. It was a very sumptuous Chinese and Western buffet. The ordinary class had rice and dishes, just like the ordinary cafeteria. The most hateful thing was that the school uniforms were different. It was said that the excellent class's uniforms were Japanese and Korean. The uniforms of the ordinary classes were the classic ones. Many children dreamed of going to the excellent class, and no one was willing to go back to the ordinary class. The teacher's words were undoubtedly a little threatening. That's fun. I like the school rule. Don't worry, Ms. Lee, I will definitely tell my daddy and mommy what you said exactly. Pudding smiled coldly and turned to leave. This teacher had a feeling that something bad was about to happen. That night, Han Yueyao finished washing clothes in the dormitory and was about to take a shower and go to bed. Just then, Suyu called. What are you doing? Washing clothes. Come out and go to the door. I'll ask him to pick you up. Where are we going? Gold Leopard. Suyu said the name of a famous nightclub. Are you looking for me to karaoke? Karaoke your head. I'll show you the people on the show. Before Han Yueyao could say anything, Suyu hung up. Instead, it was replaced by a busy tone. Su Xiaoxiao was much more well-behaved than before. She went to class every day, but after class, she still went to see Lin Hang. For the past few days, she had been obsessed with making Japanese-style sushi for Lin Hang. Therefore, he would go crazy and only come back very late at night. She thought about Su Yu's words and thought it was necessary. He changed into a beige windbreaker, a pair of jeans, and a pair of dark blue boots. She went out. It was late autumn in the north and the temperature was very low. Fortunately, and came after she stood at the door for a few minutes. He was driving Su Yu's new car. Everyone thought that Su Yu's new car would be a black Lamborghini 6th Element. After all, that was the car that he had loved for so many years. But what was surprising was that Su Yu only bought a red Ferrari, an ordinary model, which cost less than 3 million. No one knew if he was trying to keep a low profile or something else. No one could guess what he was thinking. and parked his fiery red Ferrari in front of the dormitory. She hurriedly got into the car. Half an hour later, she arrived at the private room where Su Yu was. When Han Yueyao entered, Su Yu was chatting with someone about business. Ignoring her, Han Yueyao found an empty seat and sat down. At this moment, she got used to the dim light and saw the people in the private room clearly. Her mouth fell open in shock. These people were all... Chapter 3793. They were all A-list big shots. Han Yueyao had seen a few famous directors at the movie premiere. There was also a famous producer who was excitedly chatting with Su Yu. Each of these big shots had a woman in their arms. These women were not ordinary young models or ladies from nightclubs. These women were all famous actresses. One of them was a recently released spy drama from the Republic of China. It was very famous and looked very likable. She was wearing a black backless gown and sitting on the lap of a famous director. The director looked to be in his 50s. He put his big hand on the actress's back and touched her. Han Yueyao felt disgusted. At this moment, someone seemed to notice her. A slightly plump man in his 30s walked over with a wine glass. "You don't look familiar. Did you just debut?" The man asked with a smile. "Yeah." Han Yueyao nodded. "Your work?" "I was planning to perform on Dancing Allure," Han Yueyao answered honestly. Hee, what a coincidence. I'm the executive director of this show." "Oh, director, hello. Your skin is very good. You don't have makeup on, but your skin is still so good." The man looked like an experienced flirt as he stared at Han Yueyao's face. Indeed, when Su Yu called, she had already removed her makeup. It was troublesome to put on makeup, so when she came out, she only tidied up her hair. She came out looking like she had nothing on. She didn't expect that she would be so stunning without makeup. "Thank you for the compliment. How old are you?" 25. "You're at a good age." The man looked at Han Yueyao with a complicated expression. The things in his eyes were intriguing. "Come on. It seems that we'll have a lot of dealings in the future. Let's have a drink?" The man smiled and raised his glass. Han Yueyao was wondering if she should drink when Su Yu stood up. Su Yu said to a producer beside him, "Excuse me." Then he stood up and walked over, pushing the man to the side. He looked at Han Yueyao as if there was no one else around. "Why are you so late?" "I've been here for a long time. Seeing that you were busy, I didn't want to disturb you. Come here and sit with me." Su Yu asked Han Yueyao to leave while the man stared at her back. Perhaps it was because she had been dancing since elementary school, but her figure and temperament were all in the golden ratio. Her back view was also very beautiful. "President Su, your girlfriend?" A few directors began to ask in an uproar. Therefore, she smiled and didn't deny it. However, she changed the topic and said, "Yao Yao is the person we recommended for Dancing Allure. When the time comes, please take care of her." "Impressive, Su Yu. You actually dared to use a newcomer. Do you know how high the viewership ratings for this show are?" "That's right, President Su. It's so obvious that you're praising your girlfriend. Is it appropriate for a newbie?" It's a professional dance reality show. Yao Yao is a professional dancer. Su Yu's words made everyone understand what was going on. The female stars looked at her in a different light. When women looked at each other, there was always envy and jealousy. Even the popular Xiao Hua was no exception. "President Su, you really put in a lot of effort. We all thought it would be your company's Gao." The Gao this woman was talking about must be Gao Yaruo. Han Yueyao listened quietly, without a word. "President Su, you dared to use a newcomer. If she doesn't have the viewership ratings and is eliminated in the first round, won't Imperial Star be disgraced?" Someone questioned. Han Yueyao suddenly felt that Su Yu's decision to put her on this show was too far-fetched. It seemed to be very troublesome. She pursed her lips and looked up at Su Yu, who was wearing a white BV, with mixed feelings. Chapter 3794. Hearing her words, Su Yu smiled slightly. "I'm here to have fun. So what if I'm eliminated? What's the point of being disgraced? My Imperial Star Entertainment is a living signboard in the industry. Tell me, Whose face am I disgracing? Su Yu's words were like a needle in a velvet glove, and all the directors, producers, and even investors understood what he meant. This meant that the crown prince was displeased. Who is Su Yu? With his current status, he wouldn't care about a reality show. For actresses like Jian Tong and Ye Lingxian, he could use money and connections to groom them into superstars. The key question was whether he was willing to do it or not. Who won't disgrace you, President Su? Han Yueyao didn't know what was going on. She looked at everyone's sarcastic remarks directed at Su Yu. She felt extremely uncomfortable in her heart, which was why she said those words at this moment. It seemed that she was making a promise to Su Yu, but in fact, she was putting a lot of pressure on herself. We're here to drink. Let's not talk about anything else. Su Yu seemed happy. He checked the topic and didn't talk about the dance anymore. During the banquet, many actresses went up to Su Yu to propose a toast. At that time, Su Yu was a little drunk. When Han Yueyao came, he had drunk a lot with the directors and producers. So, Han Yueyao was worried. President Su, stop drinking. You just got out of the hospital. It's okay. I'm full of energy now. Su Yu didn't seem to care. If Sister Mian knows, she won't be happy. Seeing that he was so disobedient, Han Yueyao used Huamin to scare him. You're good? You know how to threaten me? Under the dim light, Su Yu narrowed his eyes and looked at Han Yueyao up and down. I don't care if it's a threat or not. As long as it works on you. If you drink again, I'll hit you. If I don't drink, you drink for me. This is a social event, understand? Su Yu teased her. But Han Yueyao took it seriously. All right, I'll drink it for you. At this moment, someone came over to propose a toast. Under Su Yu's surprised gaze, Han Yueyao picked up the wine glass in front of Su Yu and drank it. Eh, you brat. Su Yu didn't know what to say. President Su, you're amazing. You even brought a helper. Let's drink until we're drunk. When everyone saw that the woman brought by Su Yu took the initiative to drink, they became even more rowdy. It was 1:30 a.m. when Su Yu and Han Yueyao walked out of the nightclub. Su Yu was slightly drunk, but Han Yueyao was dead drunk. Seeing her drink so much, he didn't dare to drink anymore. What if something happened? Before he left, one of the directors patted Su Yu on the shoulder meaningfully. President Su, enjoy. Su Yu was confused. He thought to himself, enjoy your ass. He supported Han Yueyao as they staggered out. Seeing this, and was exasperated. President Su, are you too completely wiped out? You're still alive, aren't you? Su Yu glared at An, who didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Why you still standing there? Come and give me a hand. This damn girl is too heavy. And hurried over and helped Su Yu support Han Yueyao. President Su, what should we do now? Let's eat. And, no, I mean, where are we going now? Xiaoan didn't know what to do for a moment. The Ferrari could only seat two. Obviously, Su Yu couldn't drive after drinking so much. How could he drive but only one person could sit in the passenger seat? Chapter 3795. Drive her back to her dorm and then pick me up. What are you talking about? Hurry up. I'm dizzy, okay. I'll drive Miss Han home first. And couldn't figure out what his boss was thinking. Following Su Yu's order, he drove Han Yueyao back to her dorm. Su Xiaoxiao was surprised when she opened the door. Uncle Lin, she's drunk. President Su asked me to drive her back. Please take care of her. Su Xiaoxiao took Han Yueyao and closed the door. Then she looked at the drunk Han Yueyao. You've grown up. Your relationship with my uncle has improved by leaps and bounds. Are you so drunk that you can't go home? Drunk as a cat, Han Yueyao couldn't hear Su Xiaoxiao's words. She just kept saying, I want water. I'm so thirsty. I want water. When An went back to pick up Su Yu, he saw the man sitting on the steps of the nightclub. Several security guards and the manager of the nightclub were trying to persuade him. Lord Su, go in and wait. I'll make you a pot of tea. Drink it while you wait. It's so cold here. You're a man of high status. Don't catch a cold. The manager was scared. If anything happened to Su Yu at the entrance of the nightclub, The nightclub would be closed the next day. I'm a man, not a girl. I won't catch a cold. You guys go back. I'll cool down here. Su Yu's words were vague. Fortunately, An arrived at this moment and took Su Yu away. When they got home, it was late. Su Yu took a shower and planned to go to bed. Maybe because the water was cold, he woke up a lot. Lying on the bed, he scrolled through his cell phone. Su Xiaoxiao's WeChat message came in. Uncle? Speak. Pa. I just took care of Yao. She fell asleep. Oh. Su Yu didn't respond. Did she drink with you tonight? We drank with the producer. She's on that reality show. You're so biased. Not only did you give her a reality show, but you also took her to warm up in advance. Which star would get such treatment? No wonder Gao Yaruo is so jealous. You sent me a WeChat message so late at night just to ask such nonsense. Su Yu frowned. He thought to himself that this little niece of his had nothing better to do. Of course not. I'm actually curious. It's so late and you two are drunk. Shouldn't something happen? Su Yu, uncle, why did you send Yao Yao back? You should know that she likes you a little. You should take her to a hotel. Huh. Then put on a story about how you gradually fell in love with each other because of a one-night stand. Isn't that how all the CEO novels are written now? What are you thinking? You look like you're in a hotel. What time is it? Why aren't you sleeping? Uncle, I'm serious. You're single anyway, why don't you consider it? Su Xiaoxiao, your dad called me recently. He wants you to go to the south. I won't go back. I won't go back. I'll go back to see him and that vixen. I'd rather die than go back. If you don't want to go back, then stop gossiping. Su Yu's words scared Su Xiaoxiao away. She didn't dare to continue gossiping about him and Han Yueyao. As for Han Yueyao's feelings for him, Su Yu more or less knew. He was smart enough to know. But his heart had been frozen for so long. Could it wake up? In the morning, when Han Yueyao's alarm rang, she got up in a daze. She only remembered bits and pieces of what happened last night. Xiaoxiao, how did I come back yesterday? You ran back naked, Su Xiaoxiao answered drowsily as she buried her head in the quilt. Hearing this, Han Yueyao's scalp almost exploded. Chapter 3796. Really? Don't lie to me. Frightened, Han Yueyao jumped out of the quilt and went to the other bed to lift Su Xiaoxiao's quilt. Sis? It's still early. Let me sleep for a while. Xiaoxiao last night? Oh, no. I'm just kidding. Then who drove me home? Han Yueyao tried hard to remember but couldn't. Uncle and then Su Yu. My uncle didn't take advantage of you or take you to a hotel? That's what happened. Han Yueyao blushed at the words. Don't talk nonsense, what hotel? President Su is so nice to me this time. I know it's because of the car accident, so he feels guilty. Su Xiaoxiao was so sleepy that she didn't answer her. Feeling good, Han Yueyao got up and went to the company. Su Yu didn't come to the company at a fixed time. Sometimes he came early, sometimes he came late, and sometimes he didn't come at all. After some consideration, Han Yueyao decided to send him a WeChat message. President Su, you weren't drunk last night, right? No. Oh, that's good. Go to the performance department to rehearse. The day of the reality show is approaching. Since it's a live show, I won't be able to save you if something happens. I'll try my best. Anyway, Han Yueyao was grateful to Su Yu for giving her a chance to show her face. Before the rehearsal began in the performance department, Han Yueyao saw a familiar face. It was Lady Su. She was followed by bodyguards with a solemn expression. Auntie, Yao Yao, come with me. I have a few questions for you. Han Yueyao nodded and followed Lady Su into a reception room in the corner of the performance department. The bodyguards closed the door and stood guard outside. Auntie, Han Yueyao seemed to know Lady Su's purpose in coming here. You're going to be on the reality show? Do you know what it means? Yao, to tell you the truth, I let you come here because I think you're a good girl. If you can be with you, the Su family will treat you well. But now you're going to debut. You know what our family hates the most. You know Grandpa you doesn't like women in the entertainment industry. Auntie, I know you're angry and I might have lied to you. I'm a dancer and this reality show. I really want to try it. So you'd rather give up the chance to be with you? In fact, whether I debut or not, President Su won't like me. Han Yueyao chuckled. Why are you so unconfident? Haven't you been very close to you recently? That night on the cruise ship, you were his recognized female companion. Yao Yao, you're a smart girl. You should know that girls nowadays want to be celebrities for nothing more than fame and fortune, and then marry into a rich family. Look at how many actresses marry into rich families when they're in the limelight. Their ultimate goal is to marry into a rich family, but you can completely ignore this step. As long as you're willing, I'll definitely help you. I'll discuss it with you's father and grandfather, and we can think of a way to get you guys married first. Huh. Han Yueyao was surprised that Lady Su had such an idea. No matter what method she used, it was a great temptation for Han Yueyao to marry Su Yu first. There was no doubt that she liked Su Yu. Seeing her hesitation, Mrs. Su added, Yao Yao, you only have one chance like this. Have you thought it through? Which one is more important? Chapter 3797. Lady Su's words were undoubtedly a great temptation to Han Yueyao. She was a girl from an ordinary family, who wouldn't want to fly to the top and reach the sky in one step. She heard that Huamin was the same. She married Qin Chu as an ordinary girl and became the young madam of the Qin family. It wasn't that she hadn't thought of such a beautiful dream before, but, Auntie, how should I put it? What you said is indeed a great temptation to me. Not only me, but countless women in Sea City dream of marrying Su Yu and marrying into the prestigious Su family. So, I'm very happy to hear what you said because it means you approve of my character. Lady Su looked at Han Yueyao and didn't speak. She just quietly observed her and listened to her words. But I think, when it comes to marriage, you either have to be well matched in terms of social status or be in love with each other, but I don't seem to have either of those conditions, so... Auntie, I'm afraid I'll disappoint you. I'll still say what I said before. Although I'm from a small family, I know where I stand. The difference in social status is one of the reasons. The person Su Yu loves is not me, and that's the most important thing. If he loves me, I might have the confidence to try, but now, I don't want to do this. I won't be happy, and neither will Su Yu. Hearing this, Lady Su's expression didn't change even though she was rejected by Han Yueyao. To be honest, this girl was young and didn't have a very high education level, but her words were indeed of a high standard. She believed that she had thought it through carefully. Just the fact that she dared to reject Mrs. Su proved that she was actually very dignified and courageous. As for the rumors that she was greedy for money, they probably didn't know her well enough. So, no matter what, you're going to debut. I just want to make money, Auntie. In fact, it doesn't matter if I'm a star or not. I'll be satisfied as long as I can earn a decent income with my own abilities and make my parents' lives better. I really don't want to cry when they're in poor health and need large surgery fees. I don't want them to still have to work for their families when they're old enough to retire. That's enough. Then Han Yueyao stood up and bowed deeply to Lady Su. Thank you, Auntie, for giving me the opportunity to develop at Imperial Star. Then Han Yueyao turned and left. Lady Su's gaze turned complicated. Han Yueyao was indeed a commendable girl, but she was young and stubborn. After leaving Imperial Star, Lady Su went to South Side. She had wanted to talk to Huamian and ask her if she could persuade Han Yueyao not to participate in the reality show, but Huamian didn't. But when she arrived at the hospital, she didn't see Huamian's director. The nurses were very polite to Lady Su when they saw her. Because of Huamin's recommendation, Lady Su worked here as a director at the foundation. Where's Vice Director Hua? She's not in her office. Vice Director went out. Where did she go? I don't know. She was picked up by a black Audi A8, a nurse said. Did she say when she'll be back? No. The nurse shook her head. Curious, Lady Su picked up her cell phone and called Huamin. But she couldn't get through to him. Did something happen? Lady Su thought worriedly. Chapter 3798. At this moment, Huamin was taken by the black Audi A8 to a beautiful manor in the suburbs. It looked like a farmhouse. Of course, President Wu was with her. Otherwise, Huamin wouldn't trust others so easily. Huamin's bodyguards followed them in their car. However, they were stopped when they arrived at the scene. "Wait for me here. It's fine." Huamin gave them a look that said, "I'm fine." The bodyguards stopped in their tracks. One of the bodyguards in charge immediately took out his cell phone and reported the incident to Qin Chu. Qin Chu was working in his office. When he saw the bodyguard calling, he immediately picked up. This bodyguard was responsible for protecting Huamin and wouldn't call him easily. "President Qin. What's wrong?" "Don't worry, it's like this." In the afternoon, a black Audi A8 came to the hospital and picked up young madam. Director Wu was also in the car, so young madam said that she was fine. We drove and followed them all the way. Now, the location is 35 kilometers away from the suburbs, Fengming Villa. I think that since those people dared to let us follow them, they should be fine, but I still think that it's necessary to tell you about this. Give me the license plate number. It's not a local license plate. It's from the province. The license plate number is CF378. The bodyguard gave him the license plate number. "Okay, I got it. Keep an eye on it and contact me if anything happens." After hanging up, Qin Chu immediately looked up the license plate number. When he saw the background of the car, his expression changed slightly. "He's here." Qin Chu only said one sentence. However, it shouldn't be a problem to take Huamin away in broad daylight. Plus, he wouldn't do anything to him. After Huamin and President Wu were brought in, they sat in a quaint private room. 5 minutes later, the door opened. A white-haired man wearing a blue checkered shirt walked in. He looked to be in his 50s. His face was dark and he seemed to be in a bad mood. "You guys wait at the door." "Yes." After sending the bodyguards away, the man walked over and sat down. When President Wu saw who it was, his expression changed drastically. He stood up immediately. "Sit down. Let's talk." The man waved his hand, and Director Wu sat down in his seat, still in shock. Seeing President Wu's expression and hearing him call him secretary, Huamin guessed who it was. This man must be Zheng Rou's father, a big shot in the province, Secretary Zheng. "Why you here?" "I didn't receive any news." Director Wu was also dumbfounded when he arrived. He was picked up from his home and then went to South Side to pick up Huamian. On the way, he wondered who was why there were so many people here. When he saw Secretary Zheng's secretaries Han Minhe's. In his memory, he had only met Secretary Zheng once when he went to the provincial meeting. After that, they didn't know each other. "Don't be nervous. I called you here because I want to ask you something." Then, Secretary Zheng glanced at Huamin. "Vice Director Hua, do you know my daughter, Zheng Rou?" "I do." Huamin nodded. "She had an injury on her leg. I advised her to stay in the provincial hospital, but she wouldn't listen. She said she was your good friend and that you were an excellent doctor. That's why I let her come here to rest." "Yes. She told me." "Then please tell me where my daughter is." Secretary Zheng sounded slightly angry when he said this. He must have known Zheng Rou was missing. That was why he came here to question Huamin. Chapter 3799. To be honest, I really don't know where she went. "How is that possible?" "She's been staying at South Side. The only time she left the hospital was on your birthday." It seemed that Secretary Zheng had a tight grasp of Zheng Rou's whereabouts. "But she's just a patient here. She's recuperating here. Her whereabouts are her private matters, and I have no right to interfere. I'm also looking for her and trying to contact her. I've even checked the video surveillance at South Side, but I haven't found anything. I think you should ask her bodyguards instead of me. They're her personal bodyguards, so they might know more than me." Huamin wasn't frightened or incoherent just because the other party was Secretary Zheng. On the contrary, her attitude was neither servile nor overbearing. She even sounded dissatisfied with Zheng Rou. President Wu listened quietly. He was wrong to be caught here. President Wu, who was about to retire, didn't care about many things. He rarely went to the first hospital. His immigration application had been approved. He was waiting to hand over his work to Huamin and then go abroad to retire. He didn't expect such a big thing to happen before he left. President Wu didn't know Zheng Rou, but from the conversation between Huamin and Secretary Zheng, he learned that Secretary Zheng's daughter was recovering at Southside but was now missing. President Wu panicked. If Secretary Zheng's daughter was really missing, it didn't matter how she went missing. Southside must have something to do with it, kid. I've heard that you have a sharp tongue. Not only are you not afraid of me, but you even seem to blame me. Secretary, you're overthinking. I didn't mean that. I'm just stating the facts. Zheng Rou is my friend. Her injuries have healed a long time ago. I don't know why she's still here. Maybe she has something she wants to do but hasn't finished. Secretary, you can investigate further. Huamin wasn't sure if Secretary Zheng knew that his daughter had been eavesdropping on her. So, he was just testing the waters. Sure enough, Secretary Zheng's expression was complicated. Don't be nervous. I called you here to find out more about the situation. Secretary, if your daughter is really missing, it's a big deal. I suggest you ask the local police to do a large-scale search. President Wu said this. It was right for Secretary Zheng to ask the police for help, but he didn't dare to do it. I still don't know what's going on with Ruru. I don't know if she ran out naughtily or was kidnapped, so I don't dare to act rashly. If she was really kidnapped and asked the police to find her, it would undoubtedly alert the enemy. I'll think about it again. Secretary Zheng raised his hand and massaged his temples. Indeed, as a father, it was understandable how he felt when his child was lost. Huamian couldn't bear to see him like this and said, Secretary, I suggest that we search secretly, even if we don't do it on a large scale. Zheng Rou is an adult and very smart. The person who kidnapped her can't be an ordinary person. I don't know if they have political motives. If the kidnappers know who you are and come for you, we'll be in big trouble. Hearing Huamin's words, Secretary Zheng's brows furrowed. I know. You can go back now. Seeing that he couldn't get anything out of them, Secretary Zheng waved his hand and had someone escort them out. On their way back, President Wu didn't dare to ask more questions, and Huamin didn't say anything either. But Huamin had a feeling that Zheng Rou's disappearance wasn't that simple since Secretary Zheng had come to look for his daughter. What kind of force was behind her? And, did Yen really have something to do with this? Lu Yen had kidnapped someone as easily as stepping on an ant. But the problem was that Huamin didn't believe that Yen had kidnapped someone under his watch without telling him. At this moment, on a shabby fishing boat, Zheng Rou was put in a sack with only her head showing. She was unconscious. Wake her up. Chapter 3800. The moment she said it, she felt as if a basin of cold water had been poured on her. Zheng Rou woke up from the illusion. She felt like she had a horrible dream. She dreamed that she was in the back garden of Southside Recuperation Center, playing with her cell phone and browsing Weibo. Then a man came over to ask for directions. Before she could say anything, she lost consciousness. When she woke up and saw everything around her, Zheng Rou instantly realized what had happened to her wasn't a dream. It was real. She was kidnapped right under the nose of her bodyguards at Southside Recuperation Center. Miss Zheng. The man's voice sounded evil. Zheng Rou looked up and was surprised when she saw his face. Huaxiqian. Zheng Rou couldn't imagine meeting this man again. Who is this man now? A fugitive? Huamin's archenemy? You think I'm him too? Unfortunately, I'm not, Jack. Zheng Rou remembered the information she had read about Huaxiqian from the chief. Huaxiqian had severe dissociative identity disorder. Under certain circumstances, his second personality, which was Jack, would be triggered. It was said that most of the people Huaxiqian had killed and done bad things were done by this second personality. It seems you know a lot. Jack wasn't surprised that Zheng Rou called his name. Instead, he was happy. Why did you kidnap me? Isn't Huamin your enemy? Zheng Rou pushed Huamian out as soon as she spoke, not wanting to be threatened. What a pity. I wasn't interested in you, but our master said we could use you to force Lu Yen to show up. Your master? Who are you with now? Zheng Rou's curiosity was off the charts. If she could figure out who was behind Huasiqian, she would be able to report to the chief. When he reported this to the chief, he might even be able to gain some merit. Don't be naive. You're not qualified to know our master. What? No, Mr. Jack, the problem is, if you want to force Lu Yen to show up, you have to capture Huamin. They're sisters, and I've already fallen out with those people. Did you catch the wrong person? Caught the wrong person? No, how could this be? You even know about the relationship between Lu Yen and Huamin. Zheng Rou, you must have a powerful background as well. Jack stared at her with a faint smile. Zheng Rou realized that she had said too much. Only a few people knew about the relationship between Huamin and Lu Yen. It was said that Su Yu, Gao Ran, and the others knew very little about it, but he said it out loud. This was indeed suspicious. I'm friends with Huamin. She told me that before, Zheng Rou quibbled. Do you take me for a fool? Do you think I don't know Huamin better than you do? Except for Qin Chu, she never told anyone about Lu Yen. Miss Zheng, you're from a rich family and haven't suffered much. I don't want to hurt you. Let's get to the point. If you don't want to suffer, answer my questions obediently. If you don't, our master will get angry and you'll probably be fed to the sharks. Jack pointed at the sea and smiled viciously. Zheng Rou finally realized that she might be in the open sea now. She might be thrown into the sea at any moment. My dad won't let you get away with it. Since you caught me, you should know who my dad is. Zheng Rou thought her father's identity as the secretary might be able to intimidate them. But she was wrong again. After hearing her words, Jack just laughed. His laughter was full of sarcasm. Chapter 3801. What are you laughing at? Zheng Rou was annoyed. I'm laughing at you. You think you're smart, but you're still not as smart as Huamin. I don't want to compare myself to Huamin. Zheng Rou felt bad when she said this. It seemed that as long as Huamin was there, she would be the only one with the limelight. Everyone liked her. Even her enemies, even Jack, who hated her to the core, praised her. But was it because she was Huamin? I don't have much time and don't want to waste it with you. First question. Why did you go to Southside? To recover, Zheng Rou answered quickly. Splash. At Jack's order, his men poured a bucket of ice water on Zheng Rou. It felt bone-piercing. The journey to the hospital had been bumpy, and before she could recover, she was splashed with ice water. No one could withstand it. Huasiqian, you're a fucking psycho. Zheng Rou cursed in exasperation. At this moment, she didn't care about her status as a socialite or rich girl. So, you must tell me the truth. I'll ask you again. Why did you go to Southside? I really went there to recover. My leg is injured. Didn't you check it? Besides, Huamin and I are friends. I thought he'd take care of me at Southside. Zheng Rou didn't dare to reveal the power behind her. If she did, she wouldn't be the only one to die. So, she insisted that she went to Southside for treatment. Treatment? Huamin believes your nonsense, but I don't. You're not telling the truth, right? Jack asked as he gripped Zheng Rou's chin. I'm telling the truth. Maybe it was because she was too cold, but when she answered Jack, her teeth chattered. Keep splashing. Jack stood up, losing his patience. Another bucket of ice water was splashed on her. Zheng Rou felt her whole body was soaked in cold water. Then she blacked out and fainted. Mr. Jack, the woman fainted. Take her down and let her rest. When she wakes up, continue. All right. Also, release the news that Zheng Rou was kidnapped by a young and beautiful woman. All right. Southern District Hospital President Wu was sent home by those people, while Huamin returned to Southside. Sister Mian, you're back. Are you okay? Worried, Chen Jie hurried forward and asked in a low voice. Huamin shook his head. President Qin is here. He's waiting for you in the office. My husband is here. Huamin was a little surprised. He quickened his pace and pushed open the office door. Qin Chu sat in her office chair, looking troubled. It was only when he walked in and saw that she had returned safely that his expressions softened a little. Honey, Lord Qin, why are you here? In his memory, Qin Chu hadn't been here for a long time. The bodyguard called to say that you were taken away. It's fine. It's broad daylight, and President Wu is in the car. What can happen to me? Huamin smiled. She tried to make it sound as light as possible. But Qin Chu knew that the more she acted like this, the more serious it was. But he didn't ask anything. Honey, I haven't eaten yet. Can you eat with me? I want to eat braised pork. At the mention of food, Huamin smiled and hugged Qin Chu's arm. You don't look like a vice director. Qin Chu pinched her chubby chin lovingly. I'm going to be promoted soon, okay? I won't be a vice director in the future. Just like that, under the envious gazes of the people in the hospital, Qin Chu and Huamin walked out of the hospital hand in hand. In a Chinese restaurant near the hospital, Qin Chu ordered some meat and vegetables. Honey, the person who took me away today is actually... Huamin knew that she couldn't keep it a secret, so she wanted to talk about it now that there were fewer people around. Honey, have some water first. Qin Chu interrupted her and poured her a glass of water. Huamin was shocked. Mr. Qin interrupted her so obviously. Could it be that someone nearby was eavesdropping on their conversation? Chapter 3802. After all, they had been husband and wife for many years and knew each other well. Hearing Qin Chu's interruption, Huamin stopped talking. Instead, she talked about other things with Qin Chu. When they got home that night, they closed the door and lay in bed. With his arms around his wife, Qin Chu asked her about what had happened today. Mian, Secretary Zeng wanted to see you about Zeng Ro? Huamin nodded. Then why did he ask President Wu to see him? President Wu is semi-retired and hasn't been in charge of the government for a long time. I think he wanted to put pressure on me, Huamin guessed. What did you say? I told him the truth. I really don't know where Zeng Ro is. At this thought, Huamin felt vexed. A living person had disappeared just like that, and there were no witnesses or surveillance videos. It was too miraculous. It's scary to think about it. The person who kidnapped Zeng Ro from Southside can definitely kidnap you. Worried, Qin Chu tightened his arms around Huamin as if he was afraid of losing her. Everyone is guessing that Yen did it, right? So, I didn't talk to her. I have a feeling something is wrong. I'd better not talk to her, lest I bring trouble to Lu Yen. Qin Chu was a cautious man. Although he suspected Lu Yen did it, he didn't call her immediately. Honey, you've become very careful. Of course. Since I found Zeng Ro had that advanced device on the cruise ship, I know, it's impossible to guard against it. What should we do now? You don't have to do anything. Just wait and see. Although Secretary Zeng is powerful, he won't dare to do anything to you. Besides, his daughter is still alive. She went missing on her own. It has nothing to do with you. Nestled in Qin Chu's arms, Huamin nodded vaguely. This matter was strange to begin with, so it made them even more vigilant. On the other hand, it was already 8 o'clock in the evening when Gao Ran held a high-level meeting. As a bureau chief, working overtime was a common occurrence for him. When he walked out of the office, he heard his colleagues talking among themselves. What are you talking about? Gao Ran asked with a smile. Chief Gao, something happened to Xiao Chen. Do you know? What happened? Hearing the word accident, Gao Ran was still very nervous. No matter which colleague it was, he naturally didn't want anything to happen to them. I don't know the details. I heard that when she was shopping after work, she bumped into a thief who stole another woman's purse. Then she chased after the thief and got injured. Where is he? Where are they? Gao Ran was anxious when he heard this. We don't know if it's true or not. We only heard about it. It was handled by the Baihe Road branch. We didn't see anyone. Gao Ran immediately called the branch office to confirm the matter. Without further ado, he drove straight to the 6th hospital on Baihe Road. When Gao Ran arrived, Chen Yuning had finished bandaging her wound. Chief Gao. Seeing Gao Ran, she was delighted. What on earth happened? Gao Ran frowned slightly. Before Chen Yuning could speak, a male policeman from the nearby station interjected. Chief Gao, I'm surprised that your female colleagues in the Internal Affairs Department of the HQ are so good. Comrade Little Chin is very brave. She chased after a female colleague whose purse was stolen. The thief even had a knife in his hand, but Little Chin took him down. Wow, even your female colleagues in the Internal Affairs Department are so good. You're a good teacher. Hearing this, Gao Ran got the gist of what had happened. Before Gao Ran could speak, the young policeman continued, Chief Gao, you must give Comrade Xiaochen a big reward. She's a role model. I don't want a reward. I just want Chief Gao to treat me to a meal, Qin Yuning said word by word to Gao Ran in front of many policemen, covering the wound on her arm. Chapter 3803. Gao Ran's expression changed slightly. Of course, he knew what Qin Yuning was up to. Before Gao Ran could answer, his colleagues began to jeer. Little Qin, are you stupid? It's such a rare achievement. Why don't you blackmail our Chief Gao? Qin Yuning looked at Gao Ran with a gentle smile. When I was in the police academy, I especially admired our Chief Gao. You're good at solving cases, so I've always wanted to ask for your advice. But our Chief Gao is too busy and doesn't even have time for a meal. So I'm taking this opportunity to be a little thick-skinned and use the excuse of having a meal to ask Chief Gao for advice on solving cases. I wonder if Chief Gao would be willing to give me this opportunity? Then, Qin Yuning glanced at Gao Ran's face. He couldn't refuse her in front of so many people. After all, she had just made a contribution and had a hero's halo. But if he agreed, Ling Ling would be sad if she found out that he and Qin Yuning were having a meal together. After all, Ling Ling was like a frightened bird. So, Gao Ran said with a smile, not only will I treat you, but I'll also treat everyone in our bureau. I'll spend 3 months of my salary to entertain you greedy cats. Gao Ran had wanted to use a group meal as an excuse. But Qin Yuning wasn't easy to deal with. Chief Gao, I don't want to have a group meal. I want to eat with you alone. Chief Gao, just fulfill Little Chen's wish. Look at how much the girl admires you. She's going to be your disciple. Hearing Qin Yuning's explicit request and hearing the jeers of her colleagues, Gao Ran put Gao Ran on the spot. He put Gao Ran on the table and couldn't even refuse. He sighed to himself. Huo Mian was right. Although Qin Yuning was young, she was very scheming. No problem. I'll pick a time to have dinner together. Gao Ran had no choice but to agree to it. Qin Yuning also smiled. When Gao Ran got off work that night, he received a call from Qin Chu. Then, they went to the Imperial Hotel, one of GK's 5-star hotels. It was Qin Chu's territory. Royal Hotel top floor private room. When Gao Ran entered, he was stunned for a moment. Zhu Lingling and Buyuan were also there. What's going on? You even brought my wife and child here. Chu, are you meeting your in-laws? Gao Ran took off his coat with a smile. Dad, Uncle Qin said he would treat us to a seafood feast today. Buyuan interrupted with a smile. Seafood feast? Is this an invitation? He's treating his wife to a meal, right? Gao Ran smiled. He was not interested in seafood. It didn't matter if he ate it or not. She wasn't particularly fond of it, but Huomin loved it. Huomin loved seafood. Everyone around him knew that. Therefore, Qin Chu was using them as foils. Are you going to eat or not? Why are you talking so much nonsense? When Qin Chu was with Gao Ran, he was quite relaxed. Just like when they were students, they would argue, criticize, and bicker with each other. Of course, why don't we eat? Gao Ran tilted his head and answered. Little Bean and Buyuan had a lot of fun. They both held their phones and played the same game. Pudding, on the other hand, was quietly browsing the news on her cell phone. Hey, little rich Pudding, how are you doing in the stock market? Gao Ran looked at little Pudding in amusement. She was wearing a white sweater, a red skirt, and black boots. Her hair had grown a lot, making her look like a little princess. Chapter 3804. Not bad, Pudding replied with a smile. You've inherited your dad's genes. I'm not interested in doing business. My head almost explodes when I see those quarterly reports. Look at you. Do you want your son to be a police officer like you? Zhu Lingling rolled her eyes at her husband. Who says police officers are useless? Without us protecting you, how can society be so harmonious? Dad, I still don't want to be a police officer, Boyuan interrupted. See? Your son doesn't want to be a police officer. Our Boyuan is an ambitious man. Zhu Lingling rubbed her son's head lovingly. Then what do you want to do? I want to be the owner of a cake shop and run it with Little Bean, Boyuan said cheerfully. Zhu Lingling, Gao Ran, honey, this is what you call an ambitious man. Then, the cake shop will be a chain. If you can make it into a Michelin restaurant, you'll be rich? Zhu Lingling argued. At this moment, the door opened and Huamin walked in. He was only wearing a simple black windbreaker. His entire body, except for his abdomen. Huamian, on the other hand, was the same as before. Vice Director Hua, did you just get off work? Gao Ran asked. Yeah. There was an emergency surgery at the hospital, so I went to check it out. It's okay. Let's eat. Then, the waiters brought the dishes one after another. The kids didn't eat properly. After a few bites, they went down to play. The four adults sat there and chatted. Qin Chu patiently peeled the shrimp for Huamin and put it on her plate carefully. Honey, I want to eat crabs. No. It's too cold. Just one, okay? Just one. Huamin begged pitifully. Last time, you only ate 2 legs and your stomach felt uncomfortable for a long time. Qin Chu was serious and anxious. Are you two here to let us watch you show off your love? That's right. Over the years, we've been eating 2 sacks of dog food. Zhu Lingling agreed with her husband. It's your honor to be able to eat all these years. Huamin smiled. To be honest, I'm tired of your beauty now. Gao Ran drank his beer. If you're sick of it, you can close your eyes. Mr. Qin said. What the fuck? How is this even possible? Honey, let's eat. Don't look at them, they're 2. Zhu Lingling picked up some vegetables and ate. Gao Ran suddenly remembered Qin Yuning. Hence, he coughed lightly and said, Wife, I have something to report. Speak. It's like this. I just finished a meeting today. Get to the point. Zhu Lingling picked up a crab and ate it while listening to him. The point is, I promised little Chen that I'd treat her to dinner. Sure. No problem. Honey, aren't you angry? No. I knew that our Lingling is the most generous and understanding person. Gao Ran's laughter didn't stop. Zhu Lingling continued, after dinner, which do you think is better, kneeling on a durian or a cactus? Gao Ran, Huamin laughed out loud. I think it's better to kneel on a nail board, Mr. Qin said. Qin Chu, you're crazy. Gao Ran wanted to cry, knowing his wife wasn't easy to talk to. Chief Gao, what trick did little Qin use on you to force you to treat her to dinner at the risk of your life? Huamin was smart and guessed the key point. Huamian purposely emphasized the words life-threatening, which was perfectly in line with their family's situation. Chapter 3805. As expected, our Dr. Hua is smart. Seeing that Huamin had hit the nail on the head, Gao Ran pulled his chair closer to Huamin. Stay away from my wife. Damn it. Why are you jealous? Seeing Qin Chu's stern warning, Gao Ran was speechless. Hurry up and come up with an idea. I really don't want Lingling to misunderstand. She was so scary when she was angry. Gao Ran really didn't want to experience the days of his car being replaced, his clothes being changed, and his credit card being charged. Tell me what happened? Huamin asked Gao Ran with a smile, completely forgetting about crabs. Zhu Lingling pretended not to care. She ate the crabs, but her ears perked up to listen to every word Gao Ran said. Gao Ran didn't hide anything and told him everything that happened. I told you, this woman is not ordinary. She's a high-level scheming bitch, Huamin commented. Mian, I think we were too gentle last time, so I rushed into the Chen family's house and told her parents what kind of person their daughter is. Zhu Lingling scolded. Why are you in such a hurry? She didn't do anything to your husband yet. You don't have any evidence to scold her. That's why I said she's smart, a shameless little vixen. Zhu Lingling was more direct when it came to scolding people, and she scolded them for being vulgar. She just couldn't stand those who deliberately seduced people when they knew they had families. Even if she watched TV shows, she would be furious when she saw this scene. It wasn't because she had high moral values, but because these women brought immeasurable tragedy to many happy families. Didn't you promise to treat her to dinner? I agree. Treat her, Huamin said calmly. Damn it, Mion, are you dumb? Why did you treat her to dinner? You know that little vixen is full of tricks. Zhu Lingling was obviously not convinced. Alright, calm down. Listen to me. I'm not done yet. Huamin shook his head helplessly. Lingling's temper hadn't changed after all these years. Alright, continue. Mr. Qin had always refused to get involved in family disputes, nor was he interested in getting involved. However, he was very attentive. After Huamin ate a few mouthfuls of prawns, he poured some ginger tea to warm his stomach. Gao Ran promised to have dinner with her, but he didn't say where. Lingling, I think you should prepare a table full of food and invite her to dinner at home. What? She's so beautiful. Why should I cook for her? Zhu Lingling exploded. If you don't cook, you can order takeout. Anyway, I'll treat you to dinner at home. No. I feel disgusted when I see her. How can I let her come to my house? I asked her to come to your house because I wanted her to back off. On the day of the meal, you two just have to show off your love. Then, you can poke at her from time to time to give her some warnings and embarrass her a little. Huamin thought Lingling really didn't need to be polite this time. This is a good idea. The most important thing is that Lingling won't think too much and suspect me. Gao Ran agreed with this idea. Zhu Lingling was reluctant, but compared to Gao Ran taking that woman out to dinner, she felt safer at home. On the side, Little Bean and Boyin seemed to be playing the game, but they got the gist of the conversation. Boyin, so your dad really has something going on outside. I heard it. That woman wants to come to your house for dinner. Little Bean, will you dislike me? Dislike you for what? Little Bean looked at Gao Buyuan innocently. Dislike my dad for being a director with a scandal. Buyuan lowered his head, obviously feeling guilty. That's your dad's business, not yours. Don't worry. Be strong. Little Bean patted Buyuan on the shoulder like an adult and comforted him. What are you two doing? Pudding couldn't stand it anymore and almost burst out laughing. The four of them enjoyed the party. When it was about to end, Qin Chu asked Gao Ran, Secretary Zeng came to our city. Did he look for you? Chapter 3806. Oh, I heard about it, but he hasn't come to me yet. Maybe I'm not at his level. My dad is at the same level, but I've been busy recently, so I didn't ask my dad. Gao Ran was very calm about Secretary Zheng's visit because he didn't seem to realize the seriousness of the matter. Zheng Rou's disappearance seems very serious. Otherwise, her father wouldn't have been alerted. She's just a scheming bitch. So what if she's lost? She's good. Gao Ran didn't like Zheng Rou. Even so, don't forget her identity. Huamin reminded him. So what? He can make things difficult for us just because he's the secretary. We didn't lose his daughter. Gao Ran didn't think much of it. Qin Chu reminded him, when you're out, ask your subordinates to keep an eye on Zheng Rou. If she's really been kidnapped, she might not be too far away from the city. I have news for you. The family dinner was quite enjoyable. After dinner, the two families went home. When they got into the car, Huamin remembered the crab. Annoyed, he threw a tantrum. I haven't eaten the crab yet. I forgot. I was talking to Gao Ran. Qin Chu didn't say a word, and a delicate bag appeared out of nowhere as if by magic. Without saying anything, he handed it to Huamin. Huamin opened it and was overjoyed. It was a hot crab. It looked very appetizing. Huamin knew that Qin Chu must have ordered the hotel to make it. Beside the box containing the crab was a glass bottle. There seemed to be a black drink in it. It was also hot. Huamin thought it was hot coffee. Later he heard Qin Chu's words. Qin Chu said, You little greedy cat. You almost lose your mind when you see seafood. Let me tell you, you can only eat one crab and drink ginger tea after eating. Thank you, hubby. With Mr. Qin's approval, Huamin was as happy as a child. She quickly planted a kiss on Qin Chu's face. The twins behind her were speechless. Those two seem to be treating us as if we don't exist. Little Bean sighed. Ever since we were kids, we've been fed more dog food than Buen, and the others have eaten rice. Pudding also felt wronged. What can we do about it? They're so in love with each other. Otherwise, why would they have a younger brother? That's why the fruit of love has to come at the right time. Mommy, after you give birth to little brother, will you be the last one? We won't have a fourth child in our family, right? Pudding asked Huamin seriously. Yes, there's also little 5, little 6, and little 7. You two will be big sisters in the future, so you have to take care of your younger siblings, Huamin said deliberately. Little Bean, Pudding, Chin Chu drove the car with a smile on his face. Hearing the laughter of his wife and children was the happiest moment in his life. On the other side, ever since she took part in the reality show Dancing Allure, Han Yueyao had become more diligent. Other than rehearsals, she would also do some chores for the performance department. But people were snobbish. With President Su's recommendation, Han Yueyao defeated Gao Yaruo, who was in the limelight. Now that she had the chance to appear in the popular reality show, no one dared to treat her as a little girl who did chores. They wanted to suck up to her. After all, once the show was aired, it would become a hit. After all the employees got off work, Han Yueyao stayed in the dance classroom alone and repeated the dance steps that the teacher had taught her today. As a graduate of the dance academy, she was so absorbed in dancing that she didn't even notice the figure behind the glass door. Miss Han, you have a good figure. Shaoan looked at the girl in front of him. Her graceful figure was really admiring. It was as if he was admiring an artist. What? Are you interested? Can I set you up? Lord Su looked back at him. Chapter 3807. Boss, don't talk nonsense with me. I really can't stop Miss Han. Funny. You speak as if you can stop someone like Lu Yen. Suyu was just saying it casually. However, complicated emotions flashed across En's eyes. He liked Lu Yen really, and he liked her more and more. Especially after knowing Lu Yan's true identity, she was like a god in his heart. He worshipped and respected her. He no longer dared to hope that he could confess to Lu Yen or have anything to do with her. He just wanted to see Lu Yen a few more times. At Huamin's birthday party, on the cruise ship, the three of them were beaten up by the mutated Huasiqian. Lu Yen descended like a god and performed a wonderful close-range combat in front of him. That kind of strength and aura were heights that En could never reach in his life. He thought that since Lu Yen was so powerful at such a young age, she must have started fighting when she was very, very young. So every time he thought of that, his heart ached. But who was he? Why should he feel sorry for Lu Yen? Lu Yan's world was something he couldn't reach. Even Su Yu couldn't reach it. It was a world-class battle. Terrorists, South African drug lords, Golden Triangle riots, Syrian reactionaries. Japan's Sanka Group, Taiwan's United Bamboo Gang, Malaysia's Dadak Civil War. He could only watch everything like a movie. Ahem. I didn't mean to bring up your sad past. Su Yu also felt that he had gone too far by joking about Lu Yan's story, so he regretted it. Don't worry, boss. I won't be so petty. The image of Lu Yan's stunning face flashed across En's mind. He missed her dearly. Han Yueyao is a hard-working girl. Mion didn't misjudge her. Su Yu knew that although Huamin didn't say it, he liked Han Yueyao. He would give this girl face no matter the occasion. Dr. Hua isn't the only one who thinks so. I also think Miss Han is a good person. She has a backbone. She could have made a living with her looks, but she chose to rely on her talent. That's a good way to put it, Su Yu agreed. With Han Yueyao's looks, she was popular even in the capital city, not to mention here. She could casually hook up with a rich man, and she would have endless luxury goods and money. When Su Yu had investigated her, he had also discovered something interesting. When she was in her second year of university, there was a Hong Kong businessman who was only in his 40s. He was very young and very rich. It was said that he had shares in Macau's casinos. That rich man had always liked female celebrities and had no less than 9 of them as his mistresses. Then, by chance, he saw Han Yueyao and started to chase after her. However, he didn't succeed in the end. It was said that one day after school, the rich man blocked the entrance of Han Yueyao's school with his $10 million sports car. He stopped her and asked with a sense of superiority, "Yao Yao, shall I take you to buy a watch?" At that time, Han Yueyao stared at him for 3 seconds and asked, "Brother, are you that good to your mother?" This sentence embarrassed the rich man to the extreme. Later, the man got angry and stopped pursuing her. Many classmates called her stupid. She could have had a meteoric rise in her career, but she didn't know what was good for her and relied on herself step by step. President Su, since you know that Miss Han isn't Dr. Hua's cousin and that it's Madam's arrangement, why don't you explain it to her? Su Yu had known about this for a long time, but he never exposed it, nor did he show any signs of anger, and felt that this wasn't his boss's style. In the past, with Su Yu's bad temper, he would definitely expose this matter and scold Han Yueyao. Chapter 3808. After a long silence, Su Yu slowly looked at the figure dancing in the glass room. "Actually, I think it's not easy for her." This was Su Yu's comment. In fact, Han Yueyao's family was not bad. Although they weren't rich, they weren't poor either. They could only be said to be from an ordinary middle-class family. However, she might be too sensible. Therefore, after experiencing the hardships of her parents, she had a great desire to earn money. However, she knew what to do and what not to do, so she had to work hard to earn money. This kind of person was actually rare in society. To put it nicely, they were called righteous people. To put it bluntly, they were called fixed people or tigers. However, even if they were tigers, Su Yu still respected Han Yueyao from the bottom of his heart because she knew how to be grateful and understand the hardships of her parents. After the car accident, Su Yu felt even more guilty. Therefore, this time, regardless of whether it was suitable or not, he had to watch it. He had to give her the chance to perform in Dancing Allure. Su Yu and stood outside for a while. In the end, Su Yu didn't disturb her. When Han Yueyao finished practicing, it was already 7:30 p.m. She walked out of the company and returned to the dorm. Xiao Xiao was still not home. She took off her shoes and socks tiredly and was about to go to bed. Just then, she heard someone knocking on the door. She opened the door curiously and was surprised to see Gao Yeruo. "What's the matter?" Han Yueyao asked with disdain. "Let's talk." "I don't think we have anything to talk about." Han Yueyao refused directly. "No matter what, let's talk. What if it's what you need?" Then, without waiting for Han Yueyao to speak, Gao Yeruo pushed the door open and walked in. Han Yueyao had no choice but to close the door. "What do you want to talk about?" "It's my first time in your dorm. Aren't you going to get me something to drink?" Gao Yeruo sat on Han Yueyao's bed with her legs crossed. She looked so arrogant as if she was the most beautiful person in the world. "There's water. You can pour it yourself. There's also Coke in the fridge, but it's 3 yuan per can. After all, you're not my friend, so I don't have to treat you to a drink." Han Yueyao didn't hold back. "Ha, she's from a poor family after all. She's so petty." Gao Yeruo sneered. "I'll treat you accordingly. If it were someone else, I'd be willing to drink a box of it, but not you." "I don't like you," Han Yueyao said bluntly. "Alright, I don't like you either. Let's stop pretending. I'll get straight to the point. I want you to quit Dance Allure." "Quit? But..." Han Yueyao thought she was dreaming. Gao Yeruo didn't say anything. She just took out a few bundles of cash from her Chanel bag and put them on the bed. "What do you mean?" Han Yueyao frowned. "Here's 80,000 yuan. Take it. After you quit, I'll transfer 220,000 yuan to your account. I'm a woman of my word." "If you're afraid that I won't keep my word, you can write an IOU to me right now. What do you think, Han Yueyao? Aren't you poor? 300,000 yuan is a lot for you. If you quit Dancing Allure, you can tell President Su that your leg injury is acting up again and the money is yours. What do you think? 300,000 yuan? You're so generous." Han Yueyao knew that the Gao family was rich. That was why Gao Yeruo could do whatever she wanted in Imperial Star despite being a newcomer. She also knew that Nielingshuan's agent was her backer. She also had a say in the higher-ups. She didn't feel good about not being chosen this time. It doesn't matter if I'm generous or not. Just tell me if you agree or not. You want to buy me off with this little money? Do you think I'm a beggar? How much do you want? Name your price and I'll listen. Gao Yaruo was happy to hear that Han Yueyao wanted to raise the price. She just wanted to be famous and didn't mind spending more money. Chapter 3809. 100 million. What do you think? Han Yueyao looked at Gao Yaruo with a smile as if she was joking with her best friend. Han Yueyao, are you crazy? Go rob a bank. Do you know what you're talking about? Are you crazy? Gao Yaruo was extremely excited. This woman was asking for too much. 100 million? Was she kidding? If she really had 100 million, she would eat, drink, and have fun every day. Why would she be a trainee or a star? You can't afford it, right? Then please leave. Han Yueyao chuckled and asked her to leave. Han Yueyao, don't think you can forget who you are just because you climbed into President Su's bed. President Su has a lot of women. Sleeping with you is just a temporary novelty. Do you think you'll have another chance after he dotes on you? Besides, with your strength, you don't even have that many fans. Even if you enter Dancing Allure, you'll be eliminated in the first round. Do you know that the people who came to Dancing Allure this time are all young actresses and male celebrities? Are you looking for death? Yeah, I want to die. So what? You're so selfish. You can't take the opportunity and you won't give it to others. I really don't know why President Su likes you. Gao Yaruo was furious. If her cousin didn't tell her not to offend Han Yueyao, she would have lost her temper. Yeah, I can't do it and I won't let you go. President Su chose me. What can you do about it? Han Yueyao crossed her arms in front of her chest. She was wearing a loose sweater. Gao Yaruo was really pissed off by her mother's attitude. Looking at her up close, her lips were trembling. If you don't take the money, you'll definitely regret it. If you get eliminated in the first round of the reality show, the company won't promote you. By then, you'll fall out of favor with President Su. You won't be able to return to your old self and return to our company to do odd jobs. You might as well take the money now and find an excuse to save your face. Gao Yaruo remembered what her cousin told her. She hoped she could use these words to move Han Yueyao. Unfortunately, Han Yueyao wasn't someone who could be easily moved. Hurry up and go back. I really can't be bothered to say another word to you. You're not a dancer. Do you think you can just show your face? When the time comes, everyone will dance. If you lose, you'll have face? And I'm not as famous as you in the first place. You're right, I don't have many fans, so I'm not afraid of losing. Then she opened the door without further ado. Gao Yaruo saw how stubborn she was, so she flung her sleeves and left, slamming the door behind her. The princess syndrome of a rich girl is so fucking scary. What a waste of time. Han Yueyao didn't hate Gao Yaruo. After all, she had no feelings for her. It was just that Gao Yaruo liked to make her presence known, so she always made things difficult for her. This reality show was as if they were going to go crazy if they couldn't get married. He had even bribed her with a huge sum of money. In all fairness, she wouldn't give up this opportunity even if it was a few million, let alone a few 100,000. If it was tens of millions, then they could discuss it again. At this thought, she smiled and went to cook a bowl of instant noodles for herself. Xiao wasn't in the dormitory, so she really didn't know what to eat. In a dark bar in Sea City? If you have something to say, say it. I'm busy. Yi Zhaoyang was obviously impatient and didn't want to deal with the woman in front of him. Young Master Yi, I didn't expect you to be so infatuated with Wei Ying. Is it worth it? She's a second-hand divorcee who can't bear a child after sleeping with Shen Mingxi. Don't you mind? Hui Yanyan's words were always so vicious, which matched her current face. Chapter 38:10. Hearing this, Yi Zhaoyang was furious and smashed a wine glass on the floor. Bitch, what are you talking about? I won't allow you to talk about Ying like that. Maybe he had pursued Wei Ying because he wanted the Wei family's business support. But as they got to know each other, he found that Wei Ying was actually very gentle, simple, and sensitive. She was a woman who lacked a sense of security. After leaving Xinmingxi, she lived a better and more exciting life. Now, her reputation in the upper-class circle was increasing day by day. Even some of his relatives, such as his aunts and uncles, would occasionally praise Miss Wei for being sensible, intelligent, and beautiful. People had feelings. When Yi Xiaoyang pursued Wei Ying like crazy, he gradually fell in love with her. But Wei Ying didn't seem to feel anything for him. He blamed everything on Xinmingxi. But in fact, Xinmingxi didn't do anything. How could he ruin it? Oh, if you're unhappy, I won't talk about it. Don't get agitated. Hui Yanyan grabbed Yi Xiaoyang's hand that was grabbing her collar. Yi Xiaoyang seemed to despise her, just as her hand touched his. When she touched his hand, he immediately let go, and his eyes were filled with anger. Young master Yi, I need some money. I want to play the stock market. I found that, after Hua Xiqin emptied the Hua family's money, the empty shell was taken by Hua Min's bastard child. He used the name of Hua Min's mother and played the game of capitalization. I'm not satisfied. After all, it's my father's property. I want to take it back. It's your business to play the stock market. Why should I help you? I've found a few investors, but they're not as rich as you, so I need you to give me 10 million yuan. 10 million? Are you crazy? Are you worth it? Yi Xiaoyang looked at Hui Yanyan in disdain. Now that she had undergone many microplastic surgeries, her face was full of hyaluronic acid. Her nose was crooked and her lips were flaming red. Her breasts, on the other hand, had swelled up and could be described as a super D cup. Most of those old farts wanted something new, so they slept with her and played with her. Just like that, Hui Yanyan mingled with a few old men to earn some money. Actually, it wasn't a small amount. She was still occupying the house that Xinmingxi had bought for her. Then, she didn't know which idiot was fooled by her and bought her a white Maserati. The branded clothes she was wearing were all made by those rich people. Even so, he was still not satisfied and wanted to extort 10 million from Yi Xiaoyang. What if I can make you sleep with Wei Ying? Hearing Hui Yanyan's words, Yi Xiaoyang swallowed the rest of his words. He had intended to give this woman a good scolding. But now, after hearing what she said, he seemed to be hesitating. Don't worry, you don't have to give me the money first. You can give me the money after you sleep with Wei Ying and get engaged. Hui Yanyan seemed to be full of confidence. Are you really confident? Yi Xiaoyang was also skeptical. Young Master Yi, don't worry. If it doesn't work out, you don't have to give me a dime. What do you think? Tell me what you're going to do. Yi Xiaoyang didn't trust Hui Yanyan, but at the thought of sleeping with Wei Ying, he couldn't resist the temptation. Not only can I let you sleep with her, but I can also make the Wei family acknowledge you and let her get engaged to you, as long as you cooperate with me. Bitch, if you dare to lie to me, I'll skin you alive. Yi Xiaoyang didn't forget to threaten Hui Yanyan. Chapter 38:11. How would I dare to lie to you, young Master Yi? I know how powerful you are in our city. When Hui Yanyan laughed, the hyaluronic acid on her face made her look even more terrifying. Then, what do you think we should do? In the end, Hui Yanyan's sweet talk convinced Yi Zhang. At the Shen Corporation, with Su Yu's money, Xinmingxi's life quickly changed. He had been busy with his family business and often worked late into the night. The last time he saw Wei Ying was at his birthday party. A long time passed in the blink of an eye. 8 p.m., after finishing his work, Xinmingxi glanced at his watch and found it was still early. He wanted to have a drink with Su Yu, but when he picked up his cell phone, he sent a WeChat message to Wei Ying. Ying, yeah, Wei Ying replied instantly. Are you asleep? It's still early. Who sleeps so early? Then, do you want to come out for supper? I recently discovered a new Guangxi snail noodle shop on Tongda Street. It's very popular. I heard the owner is from Liuzhou and the taste is very authentic. I remember when you came back from Guilin, you kept talking about it. Once people cared about someone, every word they said would become important. Now that he thought about it, when they first got married, Wei Ying had always wanted to go out, but Xinmingxi said he didn't have time. Later, Wei Ying and her friends went to Guilin and Guangxi for more than 10 days. When she came back, she couldn't forget the snail rice noodles from Guangxi. She said that although it smelled bad, it tasted very good, spicy, and satisfying. At the time, Shenmingshi didn't think much of it. But this afternoon, when his assistants talked about it, he remembered that Wei Ying loved it. I love snail rice noodles. I've been buying them online. But the taste is not as good as the ones in Liuzhou. I'll try it this time. Wei Ying didn't embarrass him and agreed without hesitation. Then I'll have the driver pick you up. Shenmingshi wanted to pick her up himself, but if his car appeared near Wei Ying's apartment, people would make a big deal out of it. Even if the paparazzi took pictures of her, Wei Liao would scold her. That was why he wanted the driver to pick him up. It's okay, I'll drive there myself. My dad overheard me talking about getting a new car, so he immediately got someone to bring me one. Uncle Wei has always doted on you. There's nothing wrong with that. Then give me the address. I'll drive there in a bit. Okay, see you later. Wei Ying was very independent now. After texting Shenmingshi, she immediately got up and put on makeup. Other than living in Minjiangshan Villa with her parents, she also had a 160 square meter house in the city. It was one of the properties owned by the Wei family. It was decorated in an artistic style, and Wei Ying often stayed there. After dressing up, Wei Ying went downstairs and drove the brand new orange Lamborghini in a good mood. She could eat snail rice noodles and see Shenmingshi. Only she knew how she felt. For Wei Ying, it was an indescribable happiness. President Shin, why are you so happy? Shenmingshi's assistant was very curious when he saw the president giggling on his cell phone. You said, once you care about someone, you'll care about everything related to her, right? Shenmingshi asked his assistant. The assistant was dumbfounded. I guess so. Maybe. Thank you for your hard work, everyone. You've worked overtime with me until now. This month's bonus will be doubled. Wow, thank you, boss. Hearing their boss's words, everyone was very excited. Shenmingshi drove to Tongda Road, intending to meet up with Wei Ying. Suddenly, he received a call from an overseas number. After he heard this, his entire face changed. Chapter 38:12. Wei Ying drove to the place they had agreed on. After waiting in line for a while, she found a seat for two by the window. Then she took out her cell phone and sent a WeChat message to Shenmingshi. I'm here. I'm super lucky and got a seat. I'm waiting for you by the window. After sending the message, Wei Ying didn't hear from him for a long time, so she waited there. Miss, would you like some snail noodles? The waiter asked warmly. No, I'm waiting for my friend. I'll tell him when he gets here. Snail noodles were very special. Some people didn't like sour bamboo shoots, and some didn't like peanuts. So, Wei Ying didn't dare to make a decision and wanted to wait for Shenmingshi to come. But as he waited, half an hour passed. Logically speaking, there shouldn't be a traffic jam at this time. It took him less than 20 minutes to get to Tongda Road from the Shin Corporation. It wasn't normal for him to take half an hour. At this thought, Wei Ying sent another WeChat message. Big brother Mingxi, are you here yet? After a long time, there was still no reply. She gritted her teeth and waited for another 10 minutes. Miss, do you still want to eat? We close at 9:30, the waiter kindly reminded her. Wei Ying glanced at her watch. It was almost time to close. But Shenmingshi wasn't here yet. Wait for me. I'll call my friend. Wei Ying didn't give up and decided to call Shenmingshi. She was still worried that he might have gotten into a car accident. Anyway, she imagined a lot of things because of her worry. After a few rings, someone picked up. Big brother Mingxi, where are you? Sorry, I'm President Shin's assistant. Huh? Did something happen to him? Hearing that it was Shenmingshi's assistant, Wei Ying became even more nervous. President Shin has something urgent to deal with. Or you, leave your name. He'll get back to you when he comes back. Oh, it's okay. Let him do it. Wei Ying's heart felt empty. After hanging up, she sat there in a daze for a few minutes. Miss, do you still want to eat your snail noodles? There were only a few people left in the shop. She sat alone by the window, her silhouette alone. Give me a bowl. I'll eat anything. Add more chili oil. Thank you. Okay. Please wait a moment. Wei Ying was depressed after she ordered the food. What kind of urgent matter did Shin Mingxi have to attend to that he didn't even tell her? He even asked his assistant to answer the phone? If it was for work, it shouldn't have happened. He didn't want to miss an appointment because of work and then not even say goodbye. At this moment, she received a WeChat message from her best friend in Singapore. Ying, are you there? Yes, what's up? Wei Ying replied immediately. Vaguely, this bestie of hers was still contacting her at such a late hour. There seemed to be something going on. Something happened here. It's the kid you dragged me in here. What happened to her? Wei Ying immediately thought of Hui Yanyan's daughter. Today at school, she used the tip of a pencil to scratch a female classmate's face. What? Wei Ying was shocked. Singapore's laws were notoriously strict. In that country, this kind of thing was considered very serious, even if she was a minor. How could this happen? What happened? Wei Ying was alarmed. I don't know the details. They said that she hurt someone at school and was sent to the police station by the school. She was detained. The police station and the school should have contacted her guardian by now. Ying, if I remember correctly, her guardian is Shin Mingxi, right? Hearing her bestie's words, Wei Ying immediately understood why Shin Mingxi stood her up tonight. Chapter 38:13. Yes. Gritting her teeth, Wei Ying said yes into her phone. Then he should be coming to Singapore soon to deal with this. I heard that the injured child's family is very rich and she's also Chinese. A magnate from the mainland immigrated here, so this matter might not be easy to deal with. Wei Ying was silent. Ying, will you come with him? No. That's his business. It has nothing to do with me. Wei Ying replied with a cold face and didn't say anything else. At this moment, the steaming bowl of snail noodles was served. Numbly, she picked up her chopsticks and ate it in small bites. Even now, Shin Mingxi still cared about that child. Was it because he still had feelings for Hui Yanyan? Maybe it was because she wasn't kind enough, but Wei Ying didn't sympathize with Tian Tian. Instead, she felt that she wasn't important enough in Shin Mingxi's heart. Even if he was busy, couldn't he have called her and told her? She wouldn't have waited here for so long. After a few years, I still seem to have lost to Hui Yanyan and her daughter. Hui Yanyan laughed at herself in a low voice, and then tears streamed down her face. She quickly picked up a tissue and wiped her face. Miss, are you okay? Seeing the guest cry while eating, the waiter felt pity for her. I'm fine, it's just too spicy. Yes, your chili is super spicy. Wei Ying forced a smile and finished the bowl of snail noodles with tears in her eyes. Shen Mingxi pulled some strings and got an emergency visa. He booked a flight overnight to go to Jing City first, and then transfer to Singapore. Because he was in a hurry, he didn't have time to say anything. He only called his family and told his father about the company. After he passed the security check and was about to board the plane, his stomach growled, and he remembered that he hadn't eaten. Then he remembered that he was on a date with Wei Ying. In a panic, he called Wei Ying, but her phone was turned off. He knew that she was angry. So he composed a message and sent it over. Xiaoying, I'm sorry. It's an emergency. Tian Tian got into trouble overseas and hurt a child. She's temporarily detained by the police. I'm her only guardian. I can't just sit by and do nothing. She's still young, still a child. So I spent the night looking for someone to get a visa and book a plane ticket. I didn't have time to tell you. I'm sincerely sorry. Shen Mingxi turned off his phone and boarded the plane. When Wei Ying saw the message, it was already the next morning. She did turn off her phone because she was angry. However, no matter how angry he was, when he saw this WeChat message, he calmed down a lot. Wei Ying's heart softened when she saw Qin Chu ask for forgiveness. With love in her heart, she was always the one who surrendered. At noon, in a hot pot restaurant, Su Xiaoxiao was very happy when she went to the appointment. It was rare for Lin Hang to take the initiative to invite her to dinner. Hello, I'm here. Su Xiaoxiao was wearing a loose sweater and a dark yellow hoodie. It looked a little old, but it was very stylish. Her lower body was more ridiculous. Her thighs were bare and she was wearing shorts. "Madam, it's been a few months. It's almost winter and you're still barefooted? Are you okay?" Lin Hang's friends teased. "I'm Superman. I'm not afraid of the cold." Su Xiaoxiao sat beside Lin Hang with a smile. He looked at her and wanted to say something, but he couldn't. Perhaps his friends understood Lin Hang's meaning and hurriedly asked her, "Xiaoxiao, where's Han Yueyao?" Chapter 38:14. Where's the company? Didn't I tell you to ask her to come with you? She's busy. Other than sleeping and eating, she's practicing her dance. Didn't I tell you that she's participating in a reality show? The live broadcast is about to start. Time is of the essence. No matter how anxious she is, she can't be delayed by a meal, right? What do you know? Yao Yao is very serious. This time I really saw her go crazy. She danced crazily, you know? President Su is willing to give her a chance this time. She naturally wants to win glory and doesn't want to be eliminated in the first round. Forget it. You won't understand even if I tell you about our company. Come on, let's eat. I'm starving. Lin Hang actually wanted to see Han Yueyao, but he couldn't ask her out alone. So, he wanted to ask Su Xiaoxiao to invite her, but to his surprise, Su Xiaoxiao didn't invite her out this time. Han Yueyao was very serious about this show. Whether she could become famous or not, she had to do her best. "Yao Yao, that's enough. You should go to the cafeteria to eat." "No, there are too many people. It's a waste of time to line up for food." "Teachers, you can go. I can eat by myself." Han Yueyao refused to go downstairs to eat with the teachers. After the teachers left, she danced for another 20 minutes. Then, she leaned against the wall and sat down with sweat all over her forehead. She held a sweat-soaked towel and casually draped it over her shoulder. She opened the thermos lunchbox she had bought this morning. It was 2 extra rolls she had made for breakfast, some pickled vegetables, a piece of corn, and a piece of purple potato. Then she ate with a bottle of mineral water. Su Yu and were also going to eat, but not in the cafeteria. They were going out to eat. When they were in the elevator, they overheard someone talking about Han Yueyao's recent condition and food. Su Yu frowned slightly. "Go to the cafeteria to pack some lunches and bring them to the dance classroom." Su Yu ordered what kind of food do you want, President Su?" "It's up to you. Whatever." "Then we're not going out to eat barbecue?" And was confused. "I want to eat lunchboxes." "And why aren't you going?" "All right." Xiaoan knew that Su Yu might be a little uncomfortable with what everyone had said just now. Han Yueyao tried her best this time. She even saved time to practice dancing. This was the scene that Su Yu saw when he entered the dance classroom. Leaning against the wall tiredly, she sipped mineral water and ate the small steamed rolls. There were only salted vegetables, corn, and purple potatoes in the insulated lunchbox. "I say, Imperial Star is a shelter. You're eating worse than pigs. Are you trying to slap me in the face?" Su Yu looked at her with one hand in his pocket. "President Su." Han Yueyao was polite to Su Yu and didn't dare to bicker with him like before. After the car accident, the relationship between the two became very delicate. A few days ago, Su Yu had stood his ground and asked Han Yueyao to appear on the reality show. Now the rumors in the company were that she was Su Yu's new favorite. But in fact, after she was discharged from the hospital, she had no contact with Su Yu except for that night when they had dinner at the Su family's house. "Don't be so formal. Sit down." Su Yu waved his hand naturally and gestured for Han Yueyao to sit down. "Look at you. Are you so tired that your brain can't keep up? With so much activity every day, you need nutrition and energy. Can you eat these damn things?" Su Yu pointed at Han Yueyao's insulated lunchbox and criticized her seriously. "You're tuning in to the Wang Lin's Journey YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.